Recently, I interviewed the biofuel company Sequential. They specialize in reusing used cooking oil and clean grease traps to keep your kitchen running smoothly. The oil they collect is transferred into renewable diesel to keep your kitchen sustainable and the environment safer.
Who do you think is primarily responsible for climate change and why? I just
So the
wanted to be.
answer to that is there's layers to it, and it's something I've thought about a tremendous amount over years. The kind of real just short answer is all of us are responsible, and the wealthier and more powerful you are, the more responsible you are, and that's kind of the nutshell of it. But really what it comes down to is another way to think about it. Do you know who the author Upton Sinclair was? He wrote this book called The Jungle. It's kind of like helped start the labor movement in the US way back almost 100 years ago at this point, I think. But he had this quote that's always stuck with me, and that's, it's hard to convince someone of the truth if their livelihood depends on continuing to believe the lie. And actually, that's a paraphrase. That's not exactly the quote, but that's essentially the nut of it. Is when we discovered kind of industrial technology. I mean, it goes back even further than that, probably, but I mean, it really goes back to humans starting to disassociate themselves directly from a relationship with nature. And, that point is very arguable when that point occurred in human history. Some might say that it was around the point of kind of industrial type agriculture, because we've had agriculture for a long time, but there was a bit of a change at some point with agriculture, and I would refer to that as kind of industrial agriculture. Another big changing point, I think, and I get in trouble maybe in some crowds for saying this, but monotheistic religions that are based on a notion of a creator and an afterlife and some sort of cycle of forgiveness. I think that those they can be great. There's a lot of positive that can come out of that, but they can also really act to disassociate us from the here and now and our direct relationship with all living things around us, which I think has proven to be really problematic and continues to prove to be very problematic. So, it kind of started way back when with one of those turning points in the psyche of humanity. And then it came up to, more recently and more impactfully when we've kind of entered, you've probably heard the term the Anthropocene or Anthropocene. That term means the age of human impact. Like humans are the thing that are having the greatest impact on planet Earth right now than anything else. Like we're the biggest force of nature currently in this era, and that's what the Anthropocene is. And I would say, that time period kind of starts with really the discovery of fossil fuels, which ignites the Industrial Revolution, which gets us into mass production of all kinds of stuff and starting to use at a much, just mind-bogglingly vaster scale the resources stored here on the planet. And that's really what's causing us the biggest amount of trouble right now, is that I used to, sometimes when I give a talk or I talk to a group of younger people, I liken it very much to, at some point we discovered there was a piggy bank, and we haven't been able to help ourselves from robbing the piggy bank ever since we discovered it was there. And you can only live off of the piggy bank so long. You can have really great parties and life can be really good, but it's only going to last so long. And that's kind of where we are right now, is we're sobering up to the reality that we've been living on a piggy bank and throwing a heck of a party. Some of us, not all of us, have been throwing a heck of a party for a number of years now, and it's getting us into trouble.
Want to help this cause? For more information and how to show your support, check the link in the description below. Thank you.